Okay, so this is my 2011 KTM 690 Enduro that we're taking to Alaska, and I wanted to go over one quick video, basically just to show the bike the before shot in case the bike gets totaled, and talk about some of the things that I did for anyone that's interested for building up a bike similar to this. This is a 2011s. Last year the 650 motor. The 2012s and 13s are 690 cc's. This one has had quite a few mods done to it, as you can tell. I guess I can kind of start at the front. One of the main things I did is I added a Behringer braking system here, which consists of mainly a master cylinder. It's a radial master cylinder. It's full roller. And in order to mount that, instead of the old Brembo, I had to get a custom line. This is a company called OPP Racing sells these. These are Italian. They're a light tech line. And the nice thing about these lines is that you can cut them to fit. And that's probably the best braking lines I've ever come across in all my years. Is a brake line you can basically build yourself and make it fit perfect instead of sending in measurements and whatnot. The front brakes are stock. They're Brembos. It's a KTM. The next part here is we got a bash plate. This was made by a guy in Israel that supplied the Israeli army. They don't make them anymore. I had to make it fit a little, but it's probably one of the best bash plates out there for the bike. Pretty obviously you can notice there's quite a few dials on here. In this case we've got a voltmeter added. Windscreen, of course, from Touratech. I've got these Cycra Pro Bend bars, which I made fit basically with leftover parts from the SV. I've added a power USB to charge my iPhone here, which I use as a GPS and music and whatnot, and as well to run the GoPro. I also have another remote start here, which I could basically take shots of with the GoPro, because once you have your motorcycle gloves on, the phone doesn't work anymore. It doesn't, unless you have touch gloves or whatever. Here, this is for heated grips, which I installed underneath of the stock grips, which are really nice actually. They're nice and soft. And then this is the standalone fuel management system, which allows you to have up to 10 different maps. The main advantage of having that, I'll take the seat out, is that it gets rid of all of the stock emissions restrictions on the bike, and that's located right in here. And that basically you can think of it as a fully electronic carburetor. I have the ability to adjust my idle, which you never can do on a fuel injected bike, and richen or lean it within each map setting. And the nice thing is on the road you've got all your different maps here. This is obviously built for power with premium fuel required. You wouldn't want this in Africa, definitely. And these are the different fault codes, if you get a fault code on the bike. The seat's obviously been modified. It's a stock pan, but I've added the foam and the cover. It was a lot of work to do. I don't know if I'd do it again, but it did come out nice. Other things on the motor here, obviously we have a rear sprocket that was done. I've put the stock front back on, so I'm only +3 in the rear, and I find that's probably a perfect setting for a big dual sport bike. The engine has had, obviously the intake's been modified with a foam air filter. The computer's it's basically a racing software. There's no emissions restriction on the software, and then it has a Wings titanium exhaust. The header on this bike is actually very good. There is one company, Akrapovic and Remus, I believe, make headers as well as FMF. The FMF is garbage, and the Acra is nice. It's a larger diameter, but you lose your low end, which is not what you want on a woods bike. So it's more of a, for the supermoto guys, will run the full exhaust. There's a chain protector here, which was made by a guy off one of the forums. It's made by him. It's not a company or anything. These are zip tie racing. They have magnets in behind to catch any metal. There's just some dress up there on that side. These are the Wolfman racks, which are going to mount my two bags. I will have my tents on the back rack and whatnot, and clothes. And I'm going to have my RK tank bag that I had on my SV on the. It mounts actually perfectly right in this front cradle here. Going around the back here, you can see how I've added this tool tube with all of the tire irons and everything integrated into it. And this is really the other end of the bike where the clutch cover. Here's a, I forget the name of this company, AS. It's out of England. It's basically a stick-on type. I've glued it on with goop to protect this magnesium clutch cover. The only unfortunate part of this bike is that to change the clutch, all this has to come out, and it's a big job. And there is one company called Rally Raid. They are making one with the quick change clutch assembly, but the reality of it is you don't really burn out clutches that often that it would be a big deal unless you're really hard on the bike. But I have had this impacted before, which led me to buy these when I wiped out in a riverbed once. What else? These are the tools in here. The toolkit that came with the bike. It's actually half decent. And I've added a couple into it. This is not stock. This is a Rally Raid part. And that's about it, I would say. I've got a Scott's disc brake protector. And I'll mount the camera and we'll see if we can take her for a little burn.